friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. So it's a new month. We're in November now. We're on the road to Thanksgiving, Survivor Series, and Full Gear. What a loaded month we got. And then after that, we got the Christmas and a whole brand new year. So what I like to do around the beginning of the month is take a look at new rumors from the past. That's right. We're going to journey back to the year 2016. That's 5 years ago. If my math is correct, it is. And see what were the big rumors of the day. I'll give you a little refresher on what was going on back in 2016 in November. We had an election here in the United States. The less said about that, the better. In October, so right before November, we had that great Hell in a Cell match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. AJ Styles with the champion. This is actually a pretty good year for WWE in terms of creative. There's some cool stuff going on. And in shocking fashion, Goldberg defeated Brock Lesnar in a really fast match at Survivor Series. And it was his first match there in the WWE in 12 years. So I'm sure all the rumor mills were talking about this in the lead up because it was announced that he had that match coming up. And so there is some pretty interesting chatter about that. I pulled all these from Cage Side Seats. Their rumor roundup is a really great archive of what all the chatter was from back in the day. So we're going to dive into this and see which rumors panned out, which rumors were false, and everywhere in between. Now, just remember, this is not an indictment on the dirt sheet, so to speak, on wrestling journalism, because I do firmly believe that a lot of those journalists get it right and that plans just change. Vince McMahon, he will often change his mind at the last minute and then and go off in a different direction. So this is all in good fun. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you already hit the subscribe button, don't worry about it. Starting off November 3rd, Charlotte Flair's pay-per-view streak. Remember that? She went like on 16 match streak. Will be the major story of the Raw Women's division for the foreseeable future, but the idea is to make a big star by having someone finally break it, probably at WrestleMania 33. They were very close on this one. It was kind of a big deal, but the streak ended at Fastlane before WrestleMania. So was it a big deal? I mean, kind of, I guess. I don't remember there being a whole lot of chatter about that. It happened at Fastlane. It was the March before, so it was like 5 months after this. November 10th, Akira Tozawa has finished up with Dragon Gate and is getting settled in Orlando. He's expected to have a big role on 205 Live. It seemed pretty obvious back in the day when 205 Live started that, they really liked Akira Tozawa. Now he's stuck firmly in the 24/7 division as a comedic ninja character. So he does good work with whatever he's given. But anyways, November 15th, The Rock joked about appearing at WrestleMania 33 in a recent interview, but is expected to appear in Orlando. Expect another freewheeling segment and not a feud or pre-promoted match, however. And then the next day, if the WWE can get Conor McGregor for WrestleMania 33 next year, it's likely he would do something with The Rock. None of that ever happened. Conor McGregor was still, I think he was starting to fight like gimmick fights after that. But he's an outsized personality. Of course, The Rock is The Rock. He did not appear at WrestleMania 33. I think he was at 34 to do the Ronda stuff, or was that on 32 to do the Ronda stuff? And then she was in the main event at 35. So yeah, Rock, that didn't happen. He did the Wyatt stuff, I think, a year earlier. But anyways, moving on. November 18th, Undertaker's recent hip surgery was done so he could have one last run where he will appear somewhat regularly. It is still expected, however, that WrestleMania 33 will be his retirement match. Yeah, that's what everybody thought. I was there. I thought that was going to be his retirement match too. He lost against Roman in a match that was kind of whatever. And then they did the whole thing where he took off the hat and the duster, and then he put it down in the middle of the ring, and then he quantum leaped out of there. And then they had that whole Last Ride documentary a couple of years later where he was like, yeah, I want to do more stuff. And he did more stuff. And then he had his big send-off at last year's Survivor Series. Let's see here. Chris Jericho isn't currently scheduled to work WrestleMania 33 next year, but if he continues to have a good run on television, he could be booked for a top match. He did have a top match. That match was going to be for the Universal title, and then they gave it to Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, but he had that major Kevin Owens thing, the Festival of Friendship. All that happened in the lead up to Mania 33. Let's see here. November 22nd says here, this is a big if, but word is if they can secure Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania 33, WWE would book her to work with Charlotte at the show. So they were off by 2 years on that one because she did work Charlotte and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. November 16th. Here we go. This is the big one. The plan for Survivor Series is apparently for Brock Lesnar to beat Goldberg, but for Goldberg to get a big send-off. This was 5 years ago, and that old bastard is still wrestling. So that's a big no. That did not pan out. Now, maybe Goldberg, because remember he had that big goodbye when after his WrestleMania match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33. I was there for that, and he was like, yeah, I really appreciate it. I just want to come out of retirement and do this for my son. And then the Saudi Arabia stuff happened, and then we just had nothing. We've had a ton of Goldberg every 6 months or so. He just sort of shows up. He was the Universal Champion. He beat The Fiend a couple years after this. So, there's been plenty of Goldberg over the last couple of years. I think we can all agree on that one. Interesting, though, that the rumor at the time was for Brock Lesnar to finally beat Goldberg. And, of course, that was a huge, shocking moment there at Survivor Series. This was our reaction over at Going In Raw.
Shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
As you can see, nobody saw that one coming. Let's see here. We got a couple other ones here. WWE, this is the end of November. WWE may actually be building to a Roman versus Braun Strowman feud. And it's at least possible that's a match at WrestleMania 33. So they actually did have a really great feud in 2017. But obviously that WrestleMania 33 match was Roman versus The Undertaker. But no, that Roman-Braun Strowman feud was really fantastic. This is interesting here. John Cena may have spent part of his current hiatus filming a cameo for Marvel Studios. He's listed as playing himself in next year's Thor Ragnarok on IMDb. John Cena, Thor, Ragnarok. There was a secret cameo. Oh, what? A three-headed figure stands behind Korg during the final battle scene. And one of them is Taika Waititi, the director. And then another one is John Cena. I don't really know if the other one is John Cena, but I guess it's possible. John Cena says Undertaker versus John Cena could finally be happening at WrestleMania 33. No, that happened at 34, and that was terrible. It was when John Cena was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be here with the fans. I'm gonna be hanging out with the fans," and they did that stupid Undertaker stuff. And then finally, who could forget this? Emelina. Now this is in November. This is late. This is November 23rd. Emelina is expected to debut anytime, possibly on Raw tonight in Charlotte. So of course, it had been now since October 3rd. So this was like 6 weeks late. This is almost 2 months later. It says here on the October 3rd episode of Raw, a repackaged vignette was shown. This is from Wikipedia, teasing about a makeover of Emma to Emelina. The Emelina character first appeared on the 13th of February 2017 episode. So not only did she not debut that night in November, it took another 3 months for her to come out and say the makeover from Emelina to Emma is on, and then she just was herself again, and then they released her because that whole Emelina thing, creative and Emma couldn't get on the same page. Neil Dashwood, they couldn't get on the same page for the Emelina stuff. She talked about this later in a shoot interview, and then they just started running those vignettes over and over again as a joke because that's what they do in WWE. Yep. Anyways, if you guys want another year of rumors in November. Let me know. Maybe I'll do another one of these next week because I really enjoy going back to the past and seeing what happened maybe in 2006 or 2011 or whatever. Anyways, that's going to do it. Check out one of these other videos. I did one of these on rumors from like 2015, I think. And then I did another one. So I will see you over in those other videos. If you want to make a quick detour, you can go to WrestleJuice.com and check out the merchandise here. I got a new shirt. It's just very, look at this. It's very, very subtle. It's a little red Wrestle Juice right here.